So in studio with me, I have, of course, your number one love expert, Pastor Simba Wozola, the founder and programs coordinator of Strong Bonds Marriage Africa, and the author of a book titled The Marriage Handbook, and a pastor at Praise City Church. Pastor Unjani, welcome back.
Ngishap unjani wena za?
Ngiyaphila. Ngiyabona ukuthi umamazi uthi hayi awungeke urepeat last week.
By the way, it's Holoza.
Holoza.
Not Hozola. Where do people get Hozola?
I don't know.
It just happens.
Okay, noted.
Yeah, Zanani. So today we are here. We're talking about the Love Bank. We started on this topic last week. So today we're just continuing. We are rounding up. It's going to be very interesting. But before I get excited, Zanani.
Yes.
I'm doing something, for the couples, for the Harare couples, something big that's happening, something that we're hosting on the 25th, which is a Saturday. So I want every couple there.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have your person and you're dating to marry, also welcome.
I was just about to say, what about us who are dating to marry?
You can still come as long as you guys are serious, Because we'll be discussing things like your relationship vision, which is very important. So there will be lots of things happening, games, and our very own Mr. Vikas will also be speaking to us.
Okay.
So it's going to be very, very interesting. So please hit my inbox if you want to come. We have a few slots left, so please hit my inbox 0773 000. Then I'll send you the flyer and the details for that event. And of course, if you're in another town and you want me to come, my wife and I to come, we can still come and just do something. We are so into marriage coaching, so we'll take up any invitation just to help a couple or just to help people in as far as relationships and marriages is concerned. So yeah, we are here.
And we know what we do need that help because you are needed. So today's topic is the love bank, as you mentioned. Saka nasi tukutara nyayo ku depositor and withdrawing from the love bank. Leo and I were having arguments about this because she thinks uti mina nji ni wrong because I over deposit. Is there such a thing, perhaps, Kuti? You find that you're the only one depositing in a relationship, zero withdrawals.
You know what, Za? What you should watch out for when you're in a relationship, watch out for what we call a one-sided relationship.
Yeah.
And these are the red flags that you should be looking for. Kuti, is this pointing to a one-sided relationship? If you are the one that is always investing, then it's a one-sided marriage or relationship. So it just says to us, Kuti, the other party is not really concerned. They are not really into this relationship. So that's a red flag there. You go invest. And please don't over-invest. Don't over-invest. There are people that actually make the mistake of over-investing and they act as if they are now in a marriage setup. Manzoma singles. Pampachi will overdo it and we end up looking like we are in a marriage already. And when you do that, Zanani, I'm telling you, the more you invest, the harder you fall. The harder the fall, the harder the heartbreak.
By any chance, Pastor, did you happen to speak to one of my exes before you came here? Because it's like you're talking about me. It's a direct message to me.
So sorry, Zanani. I'm going to give you 1 hour of counseling.
Please.
For free.
Please.
Come to my office.
I've got trauma.
So that you heal. So you find out that that's one thing that actually causes that heartbreak pain. You over-invested. If you didn't invest anything, then the pain is going to be minimum. But if you're in the habit of investing and over-investing, when that thing falls, when it crumbles, the pain is going to be huge. So you need to be very careful, especially if you're still at boyfriend and girlfriend level. Don't do things that are supposed to be done in a marriage setup. Don't overgive. Yokuzoita kana ma-outfits akafanana, buying ma-outfits wardrobe yese kuzadzira munhu.
Nice.
Imbotanga nabereki vako, your siblings. Okay, so let's look at the love banks, Zanani. We introduced this concept last week where we were saying, Guti, marriage, relationships, they're more like banks. When you get into a relationship with someone, it's like you have opened an account with that person. You also have an account with your parents, you have an account with your siblings, you have an account with your friends. And in these accounts, there are transactions that happen. There are deposits that are happening, there are withdrawals that are happening in these what we call emotional banks or love banks or trust banks. They come in many different forms. But just know kuti kune ma deposits nema withdrawals anenga chitika. So when someone is depositing, they are putting something that is positive in that relationship. Because relationships, require work. You need to work, particularly marriage. Marriage, siswami, if you want to be happy, live happily ever after, you need to roll up your sleeves and get ready to work. But you know what? When you're still dating, there isn't much that you're doing. There's just deposits, little deposits there, big deposits there, But when it's marriage now, it's more of withdrawals. That's what I've noted with most relationships. And when those withdrawals can also wonder manje more than the deposits, then we have a problem.
Yeah.
So when you come to me and I'm trying to understand your relationship so that I can help you, I try to look at all those things. Good. How are the deposits? What's coming into this relationship and what's going out? What is it that's drawing the energy out of this relationship? What is it that's sucking that energy your relationship yako? So we look at the withdrawals and the deposits. And the deposits are what we call love units.
Yeah.
For instance, if you just send a message and say, babe, hi, how are you doing? I'm just checking on you. That's a deposit. It's a love unit.
Yeah.
And then mangwana, you come and you are very close with that person. Say you're making a withdrawal. And when you then make a lot of withdrawals compared to the deposits, it means that soon account yago is going to deplete.
You're gonna run into loss.
It's going to be go on overdraft, they call it. Okay. It's going to be an overdrawn account, meaning that you have taken more than you have been depositing.
Yes.
Remember, marriage is just an empty box. It's what you put in, okay, that matters. So if you've not been putting anything into that box, then you're going to run low.
Yeah.
Maricha pera in that account, and before you know it, you have an overdrawn account. And in marriage, how do you see Guti? It's now an overdrawn account. Good things are really bad now. There's no deposits coming in. It's just withdrawals all over the place. This is how you see it. You start growing apart. I'm sure you've heard people say, we've just grown apart.
True. Yeah.
People don't end up just divorcing from nowhere. It's more like it's a instant divorce. There's a build-up that happens. People don't just end up in an affair, in an adultery affair.
Yeah.
There's a build-up. There's a period that we call pre-affair period.
Yes.
So there are little things that happen. One of them is when you start to draw apart. We are growing apart. They are no longer there.
Yeah.
There's a distance between me and them. They used to call me every day. Now they don't do it. And it's now one-sided. You are the one who checks on the other. It's now one-sided. It's growing apart. So that's how you see this account is now overdrawn.
Yes.
There's something that is happening. There've been more withdrawals than deposits. There's no one who's working in that relationship for it to work. If there's someone, then it's just one person that's working. And then you also see people avoiding each other. Bank account low. When they avoid you and they're going to the grocery shops and they avoid you.
Yeah.
Vele panapaka, a personal love, a personal rulo. And there are also people that then engage in individual hobbies. They're now pursuing individual hobbies more than couple hobbies. You go watch soccer alone, you go running alone and all those things.
If you are walking ahead of me as my man, I know there's a problem in the relationship. We're supposed to be side by side. Ukangotanga kufambisa kunge panika space in between us.
That's very true. You need to be at the same level. That's the reason why you need to sit, discuss, and so that you be on the same page.
Yes.
But if the other one is way ahead, you're right there. So there are also people that then stop caring for each other. Kana relationship or marriage, it's about caring for your person. You show care not just by buying them stuff, but by also checking on them and just showing good you care for them, holding their hand, just being there for them. In their lowest moments, you are there, you are encouraging them, you are practicing what we call crisis intimacy, where you stand with your person when they're going through crisis.
Yeah.
That is a sign of a caring someone. And when there isn't that care, it means that account has been overdrawn. When people stop caring for each other. That I'm going to take each other for granted. anenda kupi, she's my wife, anenda kupi, he's my husband. We take each other for granted.
True.
And that's what happens in a relationship. Even in a relationship, you are not yet married. Especially when it becomes a presidential term, 5 years. People, they don't care for each other anymore because she will always be there, he will always be there.
Exactly.
Things like that. You know, I noted one of these days, I'm hoping that my wife won't kill me, sir. I mentioned this on radio. But that's the truth. You know, we're very real people. You know, I just checked. Lunch peke mwana. Lunch box mwana. And we have only one sign here.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I'm only natural. I was just jealous. Please balance things. Anyway, balance things. We can't have such a nice lunch pack for Mwana and then Daddy is just and come on, guys.
Daddy also deserves a cute note that says, "I love you, my husband. Have a good day at work. Moisam katime lunchbox mo vara. And it's a surprise."
Those are the deposits that we're talking about. Yeah, I'm going to call you Coach Sir. What's you doing well so far? So, okay, how do you then, make deposits? And what are some of those withdrawals that we must avoid? Number one, you must watch out for the small things. Because this is deposits that we're talking about. We're not talking of something very big.
Yes.
It's those small things that count at the end of the day. Because many of us, we make mistakes of waiting until I'm now say something.
Exactly.
I won't mention names. And then I can start blessing my woman. I can start spoiling them, going on expensive holiday trips and all that. But please start small. Start where you are. You can start by going to Lake Chiveru. It's okay. It's the small steps that count. And in Nzanga, I prefer things that build organically. You can't take me to Zanzibar if you've not taken me to Nyanga. I want things to grow organically. It's just not pressure. So it's the small steps that you must take. That's very important. And again, it's also the small things that we do to each other that then escalate and become big issues and become huge withdrawals. To my small problems, people that fight in marriage or in relationships, when you look at it, it's just small things that started off really, and before you know it, it's now big, it has escalated, it's now huge. Let me teach you some Shona. Are you ready? Okay, say Muchairo. Ah, you're good. So let's go for it. Itaut kamoto kamberevere kakapeza matanda.
Kamoto kamberevere kakapeza matanda.
You know what that means?
No.
It's the small things that then, ruin the whole thing. So let's look at it from that angle. Those big issues that we then fight over, and because we're not watchful over those small things, we let them grow and all that. That's the reason why you're told that Kanandege, the aeroplane, if it loses direction by just a fraction of a degree, it ends up in a wrong destination. So you must watch out for the small things. Don't just ignore those things and say, if you're not happy about something, Taura, Simba.
Pastor Simba, you just mentioned something that made me think of something that I saw per social media. Pane mukadzi akaenda to her husband's workstation. Mrume wacho anoshanda pamabazi and then akauya nevanhu vanoimba nemaflowers.
I saw that.
So maybe that man is not used to those deposits because you are not depositing anyway. Now you want to make this big public deposit. How am I supposed to react?
Exactly. When you start small, you are then able to identify gifts around which and you're able to, because gift a big gift. Why? It's because you're starting from Pamsora. Let's do step by step. Love language. So that's how it is. Let's start small, guys, and also let's watch out for the small things that we quickly discount and say it's just bassares. Like if I skip maybe brushing my teeth, Simba, your breath is not nice. Please brush your teeth every day. Those small things, because if you don't, we are growing apart. Before you know it, we're building resentment, we're building offense, because we're not talking about certain things. So that then at the end of the day becomes a huge withdrawal from your love account. Then obviously, Zanani, infidelity is a major withdrawal. Guys, let me tell you, the moment you get into an affair with someone and it's got a huge dent on your relationship. Let's face it, guys. Those people, it will bankrupt your love bank. Kuti munhu wakazokuda foot, it will take time. Scientifically, we are told, Gutanzi, for every year that you're married, if in terms of calculating the number of years or months that it will take you to heal after you've been cheated on, they say you take every month of every year that you've been married to that person, and then you multiply that. Tomboti, you've been married for 25 years, and then I cheat on my wife. I've been married for 25 years. It takes 25 months for my wife to heal, scientifically. But of course, when you then meet people like us, your affair recovery coaches will also coach you on how to recover, quicker, the things to watch out for, what to do, what not to do, things like that. So please, if you're wanting to recover from infidelity,
please
to me.
Leave your number right now. Leave your number right now.
773 and it also applies to those that are still dating. Because in at your age, you're still single, and you are having to deal with heartbreak issues. You're having to deal with drama. Your man is cheating on you with another girlfriend. Come on, guys. We mustn't stoop that low. It mustn't be allowed to happen. If it's happening to you and you're still boyfriend and girlfriend, please. Draw my boundaries. This will never happen to me. It must never happen to me. You must respect me. It can't happen to me.
It can't. It can't. Yay.
Then number 3 is lack of empathy. There are people that, marriage, but if you're not empathetic, if you are not sorry about what you've done, if you're not showing remorse about what you've done, it's a major withdrawal. And let me go back to the word sorry. I'm so passionate about this because I think that's my mission, to teach people how to apologize. Mama, sorry, you're actually wasting currency valuable. The word sorry is huge currency when you're talking about love banks. So if you just say sorry, and you don't mean it, you have not repented from what you've been doing, and there's no plan from you, for me, this is what I'm going to do. Then that sorry is just going waste.
It's null
just
and
being
void.
wasted. Yes, null and void. So please make sure that you understand that. Then number 4, there's also lack of respect. That's also a major withdrawal. If you don't respect each other, I'm telling you that love bank is going to be bankrupt soon. It's going to go into overdraft. So you need to respect each other. And by the way, Zanani, respect goes both ways. Out there, just here, it's just a requirement, it's a need, but let me tell you, it's also a need for women.
Yes.
Women also need to be respected. How do you respect them? You come home on time? Both 1 or 2, that's utter disrespect to your wife. The way you speak to your wife as well, because you are supposed to model Christ-like, character. That's what you should model. If you don't model that, then you're not respecting your wife and your kids. So it's important for you to respect each other. It's mutual. It's supposed to go both directions. But I also understand that with men, it's actually high up on our priority list.
True.
We need to be respected. That I totally agree. And we need to sit down and discuss. What is your love language, and also what is your respect language? I call it respect language. What is respect according to you, Zanani? Okay, according to some men, respect kufugamirwa chiombererwa kugezwa maoko chita uchikasadza, but to some of us, we don't mind. I go to the sink, I do everything on my own.
I do not see myself getting married and not doing that. I see my mother shouting at me at the back of my head. So I will not do that, just to put it out there.
But you know what? You marry someone who doesn't want that.
And that will be
okay.
Yeah.
No, don't call me by that name. If I'm... okay, what's the name of your boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay, let's say there's none.
Yes.
Like if I'm Simba, I'm still Simba. I don't want my wife to say Baba Nandi. My first daughter is Nandi. I want to be called Simba. Now Glory, who's my wife. And because the moment I say my Nandi, I'm saying I'm only related to you because there's a Nandi somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I take Nandi out of the picture. It's between me and my wife. So that's how we discuss, the respect here. That's us. But people are different.
True.
This is not cast in stone. You sit down and you discuss your own boundaries, your own definitions of respect. That's important. So there's just a lot, Zanani. But one of the last ones, in fact, the last one that I'll talk about today is keeping promises, obviously. You know, when you don't keep promises, you're actually making a huge withdrawal.
Yes.
Whatever you promise, you must deliver, particularly to the kids. That love account never know. If you say we're going to do this, deliver. And likewise, your wife is go, you must deliver. I can't finish Zanani because of time. But next week we are talking to the singles. Please come through, singles. We'll be talking to you because we understand that this is the coupling season. People are getting ready for Valentine's. They're hooking up with people just in time for Valentine's. So we talk about that. Couples, please hit my inbox. We have a special event for you coming this Saturday. My number again, 0773 000 000. Please add me your name and your marital status. Then I'll also add you to my broadcast list. Then you can be receiving messages every Saturday if you're single and every Monday if you're married. I'm looking forward to chatting with you. And also you can come for counseling as well if you need me to help you.
Asante sana, siyabonga, maitabasa to our love coach. But right now it's 12 o'clock and it's time for the news.
Now, Zim Papers Radio Broadcast.